We definitely do wait and intentionally lag a little bit behind first production releases. Elasticsearch in particular has an impressive rate at which they are shipping out updates. And I feel like every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, they're putting out some kind of minor update. And every couple of months, they're putting out some sort of, excuse me. So I actually, they release so often that I actually sort of mentally shift the semver, the semantic versioning of so their patch updates I kind of think of as minor. Their minor updates in semver parlance is I think of actually as major updates, since they introduce new features. And then their major updates are just even bigger, and they haven't had a whole lot of those. So we do lag a bit behind. I feel like that's definitely beneficial to our customers because I remember more than one release that has actually caused serious problems. I was actually visiting their offices the day after 1.2.0 had shipped, and there was a bug in the routing that was causing updates to go to the wrong shards, and everyone was in there, huddled over their computers, pushing out a hotfix for 1.2.1 to make sure that got fixed, and also a tool to try and fix the misrouted data. So there's a little bit of an operations perspective on our end. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But at the same time, we also have to manage the tension there, because as a service provider of an open source software, a lot of the value add that we perceive ourselves as giving is actually taking on the challenge, taking on the burden of pushing those updates out. Like, we're using open source tools. We all use and value them because there's a community around them that's constantly fixing bugs, making things faster, adding new features. So with that said, yes, historically we had updated a little bit more closely tracking to kind of new releases. Lately, as we feel like Elasticsearch has done a pretty decent job stabilizing itself, we've lagged behind a little bit. We do have 1.7 in the works, and now that 2.0 is launched, we're actually going to more aggressively start rolling out 1.7. And if anyone here is a Bonsai customer and wants to be on 1.7, drop us a line at support, and we can get you on that today if you want. So yeah, we have a few considerations. That first one is, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And so we give plenty of time for bugs to shake out. And the second consideration is, we do really own that challenge of managing the upgrades. Every single upgrade is non-trivial. Like, we review the source code diff between versions. Like, we go through, we review what has changed. We make decisions about whether new APIs are appropriate for a kind of shared hosting environment. And so that also adds a little bit of time to our process for getting new updates out the door. Certainly, we do have a whole tier for dedicated hosting, where you are running on your own, AWS virtual machines with no other tenants on those machines. And so we have a lot more flexibility for managing upgrades on those. We do upgrades actually on an opt-in basis for those customers, and we'll kind of work with those customers. We'll work with their teams to decide like when an upgrade or maintenance window is happening, so that we can all be on the same page. Because when you really come down to it, especially for mission critical deployments, you kind of do need that human there watching the upgrade, verifying, making sure things are good, making sure you have a good backup in place so that you can roll back. There's just a lot of considerations that go into managing those upgrades.